All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We are so excited to be going live here and sharing a little bit about our Delta Academy program. My name is Alex Young, and I am with Leadership Delta. And I am joined by three of our most amazing, not most amazing, everyone's amazing, that's an alumni, but three of our amazing alumni who went through the program this fall, who are going to share a little bit about their experience with you. So I'm going to let you ladies introduce yourselves and maybe just share, one sort of tidbit about the program. And then we'll just kind of talk and share about what we've learned and how we've grown, that kind of thing. Okay. Jaren, do you want to kick us off?
Yes. Hey, everybody. I am Jaren Huth. I currently work for a small company of about 1,100 people in the Coon Rapids area. I was shown or brought to Leadership Delta through my previous manager. She thought it would be a really good program for me to enhance my leadership abilities, gain more confidence and courage. And I really enjoyed getting to know the individuals in the group, getting to know you, Alex and Laura. So it's been really eye-opening and exciting, a little bit hard at times, but I've really been able to develop myself in, the 3-4 months that we had together. So I encourage you all to look into it more.
Awesome. Thanks, Jaren. Yeah. How about Annie? Do you want to go?
Hi, everyone. I'm Annie. I work for Epic Lacrosse. It's a really small manufacturing and sales company in Roseville, Minnesota. I was looking for some professional growth and to just be a better leader within our company. I'd gone onto a leadership role about a year before joining Leadership Delta, and I was just looking for a network of people, and I got so much more out of it. I grew not only professionally, but also grew in my personal life as well. This course has changed my life in a lot of ways. I'm a better coworker, friend, daughter. So I strongly encourage you guys to look into this and tune in for all our insights into the program today.
Thanks, Annie. Chloe, how about you? Welcome.
Hey guys. Yeah, you guys are summing it up really well. My name's Chloe Hansen. I work for Abdo Myers, which is an accounting consulting firm based out of Edina here in Minnesota. I got into the program. My boss had suggested looking into some ways to further develop myself professionally, but also personally, because they truly go hand in hand. Also networking can be difficult too as well. And so this is something that we thought would be able to help further develop that. And that's exactly what it did. So I got to meet a wonderful group of really strong, empowering women. That was one thing that was really cool to be surrounded by, that you wouldn't be able to just walk into a meeting somewhere and find this an amazing group. There's lots of takeaways that I had, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit in this forum today. But one of the biggest things that I took is that you need to be confident in your own skills and abilities, and you need to share that with the world, share that with your peers at work, share it at home, and also recognize that it's okay to be silent and listen and pause. So that's a difficult one for me because I fill the space a lot, but I've learned that it's okay to just do some self-reflection, and I've got so many great tools from this program to do that with.
I love that. Well, I'm so glad that all three of you were able to come to this program. What's super neat is that everyone kind of comes to it differently, whether it's because they took on a new role or they're, at a new job or just ready to grow in their skills. It brings everyone together in a way that really kind of evens out the playing field too. I mean, we all have different backgrounds and do different work in different industries, but we can bring those experiences to really help each other. And I know some of the coolest parts I think about the program are what you guys touched on was the networking piece, especially after a year of having to go virtual a lot, being able to meet so many different women and participants and being able to learn from them in not only our large group sessions, but the small group sessions was super, super helpful. So I don't know if any of you want to talk about, like, Jaren, you had mentioned like kind of the hard work too, but what exactly about that piece, impacted you?
So it just like in life, you think you know who you are, you go through the motions, you keep doing what you've always been doing, right? Because you get by. But what I meant by it was hard work is I was, forced to make myself pause, like what Chloe said. I used to just react, and just what I would say something without really thinking about it sometimes, and it could get me into trouble, So what I learned was like, you can't just blurt. I need to absorb, what's been asked of me or what's in front of me or the task at hand. And so the reason why it was a little bit hard to get through this program for me was because I had to just, reality was, who am I as a person? And how am I showing up? And when I asked my coworkers, how do I show up at work? It was slightly different than what my perception was of how I thought I showed up at work. So just simply, like I said, look in the mirror, looking at who I am and how I am, and then kind of pausing and reflecting and doing a lot of like introspective work. Like, who really am I at my core? I have completely rebranded myself. I found my brand, which was one of the first things that we actually talked about, when we were going through the leadership training. And so, for someone like me who like I'm set in my ways, it was kind of like, oh, I guess I didn't really realize that how I say something or even my body language could be misconstrued by someone. So like what Chloe said, again, it's just pausing, reflecting, but doing that heart work, like you said, Alex, was a huge part of it too. And I mean, we know, like Annie, Chloe, Alex, there was some heavy sessions, but I learned the most from those sessions personally. And what Annie said too, I've grown in my own personal relationships with my family, with my husband, even how I communicate outside of work. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I would say definitely it's personal and professional growth, that it's not just, hey, I want to, grow in my career and keep climbing a corporate ladder. We really start focusing on you. I mean, the personal leadership one is personal. We start with a personality assessment. We look at your values. We start talking about the personal brand that Jaren mentioned. And so really we take the perspective that leadership starts with you, not with other people. Yeah. Annie, go ahead, Chloe.
I was just going to say, just the work, I think, that you talked about, Jaren, being that it is hard work, but it is hard. So session one, when we start to learn about our personality and how we show up there versus the last session and how we shared and how we felt comfortable sharing. I took notes because I'm a note taker. My notebook from day one to the last day, completely different. Just there's a level of engagement. Once you're over that level of discomfort, you're like, okay, it's okay to be uncomfortable. When you finally accept that, which is, for me, it was about session, probably halfway through the second session, really. And just, you are open to learning and recognizing about yourself and how you show up for others. It's super empowering, and it's hard. I mean, there's tears, but they all, which is, I didn't think I'd be crying at 8:30 in the morning, because these ladies, they push you in a way, just asking questions that you wouldn't normally be in a forum to ask. So it's just a really good, safe space, I feel like, to have all of those feelings.
Yeah. I mean, I would say some training programs can feel very passive. Like you go, you sit, you listen to a lecture. This is not that. I mean, it could be if you wanted it to, but you won't get anything out of it. Like, you have to be an active participant and you will evolve. I love, Chloe, that you said that about your journal, that you saw that evolution, because it's true. I don't think anyone's the same person they were before they started the program.
No. Yeah. And just to add on, you guys talked a lot about, personal growth, but also, I had kind of felt stuck in my leadership role in pivotal moments, kind of, leading me to doing nothing or taking the safe route of it. And, trying to please everyone or trying to be, the mediator of certain situations. But it really, all the ladies and the whole course just helped give you tools to not only identify those moments where you have an issue, but also to be present in that moment and to be able to make a decision that you feel like you're making it with integrity and you're proud of, and that you can move on feeling confident. And that is ultimately what leads you to being a better leader. It's not necessarily how you delegate tasks and all these different sorts of things. It's how you present yourself to others. And that was a huge thing that I took out of it, and was able to bring back into my role at my company. So that was really cool too.
I love that. Yeah. The foundation we talk a lot about like the integrity paradigm in the program and how we want to live there and make decisions there, and how having that solid foundation as a person and as a leader is only going to benefit us moving forward in any type of situation, whether it is at work or at home. So I think that piece from like the curriculum standpoint is spot on. And yeah, if you dig into it, you're going to get a lot out of it. And I think all three of you got a lot out of it in the program. You're all like, yep.
Yes, we could go on and on.
we could go on and on. What maybe surprised you, besides some of the things that we talked about just now, but what surprised you about the Delta Academy program?
I could go. I kind of expected this course to be more focused on business and day-to-day problems, or how to be a better leader through, like I had said, motivation, delegating tasks, business rhythms, those sorts of things. And also expecting, a networking portion, or kind of like a mentoring program. And I definitely got all those things out of it in a sense, but I was pleasantly surprised that all those things really come from focusing on yourself and being a leader of your life. And I didn't really realize that at first. And there were times where I was stressed or unhappy, and, not really knowing, feeling a little stuck. But this course really gives you the tools to open your mind to new ideas, how you might view the world versus maybe how it is in reality. And that it's okay to fail or be vulnerable or not know the answers, like you guys have all said, and to just honestly be the leader of your life, because if you are leading your life, you are also ultimately setting an example for others, and being probably a better leader than you ever thought that you were being. So it was way different than I had anticipated, but so much more than I had anticipated.
I love that. Thanks, Annie.
I agree with everything Annie said, but what I found surprising was how happy it made me. I did the whole high school and college thing, and I was like, more homework, right? But it wasn't that. It was exciting. And for someone who, hated homework back in the day, right? I found myself like the Brene Brown video. I watched it 3 times. I didn't need to, but I needed to because it was so good. Anyway, I just didn't realize how happy it was going to make me. And tools that we learned, I've taken back to my team. And that was another thing that I didn't expect to happen, that I would actually have content or something that I can teach to my team too. So it wasn't just for me. I mean, it was a lot about me, but it was also a lot about my team. And because of Leadership Delta, I can 100% say my teammates and we are all closer and we're more vulnerable with each other. Like through me, we've all learned how to be more vulnerable and courageous at work. So it's just been awesome.
I love that ripple effect, right? Like once you impact one person, you never know how far that impact is going to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we all agree with each other and it's all rainbows and roses for sure. But, just a couple, there's just so much to take from this program. One, that I know I am smart. I know that I have the skills and the tools, but the tools that I now have in my toolbox from this program are some very simplistic that I would never have thought. Rewriting a statement is a really simple example of that I do, but another one that we talked on that it impacts me every day is being kind to yourself with your internal language. We are not easy on ourselves at all. We write stories that aren't true, but we need to learn how to live our life. And so with this program, it has really helped me take a step back and say, is this true? And respond rather than react. That was something that I have worked really hard at with my team. I have 10 women on my team, very amazing women, all very different. And we have been able to take different tidbits from this program and share it together. So just asking better, deeper questions that, yes, they can apply at home, but also, work is very important to all of us, and we all work a lot. So why not do it well together? And this program has been just amazing for that and that relationship piece.
I love that. To hear that both of you took that program back to work and to share it with other people is huge. And I think there's a lot to be said from the learning side too, and how impactful that can be on you retaining knowledge by teaching it as well. And so that is super cool. And I think a testament to the content that we go through, that it can sound like, Annie, like you said, you thought it would maybe be more business oriented, but the fact that if you can master your mindset and you can really focus on how you respond versus react, those are the tools and the skills that you need to grow and to really develop as a person and a leader. And so those kind of foundational skills are something that we kind of touch on throughout the entire program to see how you're evolving, or maybe where you're still having some trouble, in a specific area. So that's super cool. What would you tell someone who's thinking about it, of doing the program, or maybe a manager who's thinking about it for a person on their team? What would maybe some advice be that you'd give someone?
I was to say, just do it. Jump in, get your hands wet, be ready to be vulnerable. The biggest thing that once I was open to being vulnerable and sharing my stories and asking, like I said, that was about session 2-ish. It was just a life changer. And this can create it could just change your perspective completely in such a positive way. I know that I still continue to share things that I've learned with my supervisor, and I want to continue to find new ways to share what I've learned in this program within the firm that I work at, because there's just so much value and real life application that you take from this program. So don't hesitate. There shouldn't be any hesitation in it. It's okay to be nervous, but it's good positive nerves, because it's worth every minute in this program.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, I completely agree with what Chloe said. We are in a pandemic. I pushed my boss with budgets tight to do this course, and I was a little skeptical myself, but I use this probably, the tools from this course, I think about it probably at least 3 to 5 times a day. And that is not an exaggeration. It comes up in my everyday, personal, professional, like we've said. And it's for really anybody, of any age, any part in your career, whether you want to be, make your goals to be a CEO, a manager, or just want to feel more confident in yourself. It really allows you to make those decisions for yourself on what your next steps are, and really opens your eyes to what will make you happy. And I would recommend it to anyone. I really would. I have been, it's been a month since we took the course, and I've been, I just started this last week, little sessions with my family to start teaching them about it so that I can keep it fresh in my brain. So I strongly encourage anyone to get involved.
I love that. Jaren, anything you want to add on that piece?
Chloe took my words out of my mouth. I was going to say, do it.
Just do it.
Because, that's your first step in becoming vulnerable. You've already been successful. You're already part of the program just by signing up for it, because that's vulnerability creates courageousness, right? So like Chloe and I said, do it. Don't hesitate.
we talk about the personal change framework, right? Where you have to have the awareness and then the desire. And then the third step is commitment. And this is that commitment piece, right? Is investing in your development, whether it's investing in it yourself or asking for it and not being afraid to ask for it, because the worst thing that can happen is someone says no. You're not out anything. You try again. So definitely, if you're thinking about it, we want to encourage you to ask for it. Make this a priority this new year for you, for your leadership development. The growth potential, whether you're feeling stuck in your career or your personal life, or you just want to, meet new people and be inspired again, or you're in a new role. Like we all said, this is for anyone. This is a program that will change your life, whether you're ready for it or not. It does do that amazing effect on people. And so we start our next session on January 26th. So it's in like 2 weeks, which is crazy. I can't keep track of the time. It's flying already. But in 2 weeks that we are going to be rolling into the personal leadership program again that these 3 women finished. And so if you're watching and you want more information, just comment on the Facebook video here and we will reach out to you. My last question for each of you is, now that you have all the knowledge of Delta Academy, what's one thing you're doing differently moving forward into this new year?
Living my life with more intent, being more intentional, and meaning what I say. Say what you mean what you say.
I love it. That's a great goal.
Mine is being vulnerable. I've always tried to be that strong presence. Yes, I know I have the answers, but I'm stronger because I am vulnerable and feeling empowered in that.
Nice.
Mine is listening to myself and listening to others, and just focusing on balance in all of it, and just trying to not react to everything, but to listen for a second and then make my decision.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, for taking time out of your busy day to join me and to share a little bit about your experience with Delta Academy. I am so glad that you each had such an amazing experience, and I did too. And I cannot wait to do this again in a couple weeks with another group of amazing people. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Alex.
Yes, thank you.